在走不了，看不了
有地方。
我现在。
Yes， 係啊。For today's session, I will focus on the Power Query and also the Power P4 features in Microsoft Excel. Because these two features are the latest feature that Microsoft introduced to the Office 2016. Okay, that's why I will focus on this. Actually, I will solely talking about these two features, okay, for today's session, because it is actually very important to our daily life, especially if you are doing those data analytic stuff, okay, in the info. Then you need to before you doing data analysis, okay, most of the time those data are in a mess, right? So you need to massage those data and have data exploration operation before to do the actual analysis. So both the Power Query and also the Power P4 are very useful to you because in the old time, if you won't have the Power Query and Power P4, then you need to making use of a very famous function in Excel. That function called VLOOKUP. Okay. However, if you need to look up for data from different several tables, then you will be in a you will put yourself in trouble. Okay. So that's why after you use the Power Query, then it will make your life more easier. Okay. Basically, I always say that I talk to our colleague. Okay, in the info, our first task is to leave the office in time every day. Okay, after introduce the Power Query, Power P4 to the info, I think we can leave the info in time every day. Okay. Okay, before we actually kickstart our session, okay, let me show you some very funny things. Okay, actually, okay, do you know what is it? Do you know what it is? What is it? Any idea?
display card.
This is display card. Okay, how come the it is quite different from your computer. Why? What is the function for this computer? Okay, actually, if you go to the Google, okay, and Google a term called the Bitcoin miner, then most of the time you will get this kind of photograph, okay, in the Google. The reason why? Because now, okay, do you know what is Bitcoin? Do you know what is Bitcoin? If you would like to earn money, okay, those we call the virtual money, okay, from the internet. Then you need to, okay, have a very powerful computer to do encryption and decryption. Okay, if you would like to have a very powerful computer in the old time, what you can do is to enhance and upgrade your CPU, okay, from i5 to i7, something like that. However, at this moment, we find that the only upgrade the CPU is not good enough. So that's why we would like to increase, if you would like to increase the calculation power of your computer, then you need to add have some additional feature. That is to purchase some GPU. Do you know what is GPU? Graphic Processing Unit. Because in the old time, if you are a graphic designer or an animator, or if you are a programmer, okay, not programmer, programmer, then you need to have a machine with a very good GPU in the machine. Because you need to have so many graphics, okay, display on your monitor, and playing, especially if you would like to play a computer game. If you got a very good display card, then you will win very easily in the online game. Okay. However, now because we're focusing more on the data analysis. Because of a GPU, the power of a GPU is that it is have a superpower in doing data analysis. So that's why if you would like to have a very good machine to do data analysis, then you better purchase a computer with several graphic cards and with several GPU. Okay, this is very important. However, if you have a computer with a several GPU and with a very powerful CPU, then the computer will be very hot because of the electricity, because the heat energy generated from the computer. So how to cool down the machine? Using what? Air conditioner, right? This is the old method. But now what we are doing is like that because there's a company called VM. They invent a wonderful fluid, which is some mineral oil. You may just simply immerse the whole computer motherboard into the mineral oil. Okay, for which the mineral oil, the boiling point is approximately 54 Celsius degree. Okay, so that's why if you would like, you just put your whole computer, immerse it inside the oil, that it will help you to cool down your whole computer with a very low cost. Because you may save money from paying the electricity fee to the power company. Okay, so that's why if you would like to do some data analytic stuff, okay, you need to first of all to consider to buy a very good computer with a very powerful GPU, and also you need to consider how to cool down the machine. Okay, this is very important. Hi. Of course, for today's session, we just focus on those Microsoft Excel features. Okay, you need not to have a very powerful computer. Of course, if you are very focused on doing those stuff, okay, in doing data analysis, maybe you will find yourself, okay, Excel is not good enough for your daily operation. Then what should you do? Basically, besides using Excel, what other application you are using in your computer to do data analysis? Any software you are using right now besides Microsoft Excel? R? Yes, this is very good. R. For me, I'm not using R. Okay, for me, I'm using Python instead. Okay, because basically, I also love using R as well. But for my task is like that because of R is more focusing on statistics. Okay, if you would like to develop those data analytics stuff and put it into a web platform or in a mobile app, then R is not very good for that. So that's why I will go for Python. That's the reason, because I'm also very keen in doing IoT stuff and Python. So that's why Python is suitable for my daily tasks. Okay, for R is very good because besides R, you may also consider. Okay, this is R. Do you know why people doing data analysis? Okay, most popularly they will use R and Python. The most. Sorry, I need to switch off my iPad. The reason is that both the Python and R are free of charge. And also, there are so many programmers has already built quite a lot library. Okay, for you to call those features without doing very complicated programming. Okay, to do data analysis. So that's why people would like to use Python, both Python and R. Of course, if you got money, then you may consider other software such as MATLAB, SAS, SPSS, something like that. Okay? Okay. Okay, maybe let us start now. Okay. Okay. Before we can start the session, please, open the Excel file that I sent to you, yesterday. Okay. Please open the file called sample data file at Excel level 03. Please open that Excel file first. Okay.
Does anybody not have the file available?
Oh, you won't have it. Maybe I don't know. I'm forward it. I'll send you later. Okay. Okay. Just wait a minute. Benson, my nephew. Just wait a minute. I just forward the email to both of you first. Okay. forward, Benson Chen, right? Benson Chen. CHEN, right? Or Lifeng Shenzhen, right? At Lifeng.com 係咩 Benson Chen CHEN 啊 at lifengsz.com.cn Benson Chen 嘅都係死啦，應該唔見嘅。哦，就 Benson Chen 我咗呢個死啦 BEN 哦，揾到啦，sorry 你咧 Matthew C LED 啊 SF CM CL MATTHEN MATTHEW LEE and CL OK， 放咗俾你先，收到。Any one of you won't have the example file? You can't receive my email yesterday, right?
Yes, because I just applied it this morning.
Oh, I see. Okay, just tell me what's your name.
Joyce Lam,
Joyce Lam, just wait a minute. JOYCELAM.
yes.
Sorry. Joyce Lam, LAM. Sorry, LAS, right?
Yes, LS.
And how about you?
I found it.
You found it, okay, good. It is very convenient if you got the Outlook app installed on your iPhone. Yeah. Because for me, I don't have additional money to buy an Android phone, so I can't demonstrate how to use the Outlook with an Android. I feel so sorry about it. If you would like to learn more about how to operate the iOS version Microsoft apps, you may join our session, Introduction to OS 365. Just have an advertisement session. Before I get started. Anyway, let's have a look, on the file, basically, once you open the Excel file, you've got, I've already prepared quite a lot of data and to do today. Basically for this file, I will focus on using the features in Power Query. Basically, for the new features in Microsoft Excel, we have quite a lot of new features. Basically, Power Query are two of them. Let me tell you, what new features we've got in Microsoft Excel. First one, the Power Query. Power Query, and the second one is the Power Pivots. I will introduce in this session. And the third one, I think most of you have heard about it. It's about the Power BI. Anyone of you heard about what's Power BI? No. Basically, this key feature I would like to tell you. This is actually the new features of Microsoft Excel. For Power Query, what's the use of Power Query? If you have quite a lot of data come from a different source of the data, for example, some data come from the Excel, and some data come from a CSV file, and some come from the SQL Server or Oracle Server, something like that. If you would like to merge all the data together into one, and then kickstart the analysis, or maybe you would like to do data massage before the data analysis process, then Power Query is your choice. Because after you use the Power Query, just like, do the way it's query, that means I ask a question. Ask some question, ask question, from the database, Because in the old time, if you don't have the Power Query, what language you need to use, in order to ask question, to ask the database to do something for you. If you, in the old time, then you need to learn a language called the SQL. Have you heard about this language before? SQL language. Because in the old time, if you have, you won't have any, we won't have the Power Query in the old time, then you need to learn this language. Okay, SQL. Don't call it as a SQL. Okay, it is totally wrong. Okay, we need to call it as SQL. Okay, it's SQL. Okay, for example, if you would like to retrieve some data, okay, from the database, okay, with SQL language, you need to type something like that. Select asterisk from a table called maybe Power Kitty, and then semicolon. Then you need to, okay, type this kind of language, okay, to control the database server and ask the database server, okay, to retrieve some data for you. You need to learn this kind of language. It is very complicated, especially you are not, okay, a programmer, then how to learn this kind of language, okay? This is nightmare for you if you are a simple merchandiser. You just want to generate a report for your boss. Okay, so that's why Microsoft Excel, okay, they introduced a new features called Power Query. Okay, you may just simply use some very simple features, okay, to perform, okay, the execution, just as light as that, you know how to use SQL. Okay, I will teach you how to use the Power Query in the first session, okay? And then for the second session is Power Pivot. Basically, I think most of you know what is pivot table, right? Pivot table is actually a very powerful tool, okay, for you to do a data analysis. Because in pivot table, you may just simply chop, okay, the data set, okay, into different parts, and then reassemble it and see whether you have some insight, okay, from the new generated data set. Okay, you may just to do observation to a data set in different angle. Okay, this is the use of pivot table. However, for pivot table, it is not so powerful. The reason why, especially if you have more than one table, because of a pivot table, you can only apply this feature on a single table. If you need to apply pivot analysis on several tables, okay, all together, then this is a question. Then in the old time, if you would like to perform the pivot table operation, then you need to first of all use a very powerful function called VLOOKUP to link all the data together and then generate a huge in size table to do analysis for you, right? However, after they after Microsoft introduced the Power Pivot to the Microsoft Excel, then you no longer need to do such a silly thing. What you need to do is to link up the relation. Okay, I will talk these features, okay? I will teach you how to use this feature in the second part of this lesson. Okay, and the third one, okay, this is what the ITS asked me not to use it, or to teach you, okay, in this session. The reason why, because we have already introduced a very powerful, even much more powerful software to the Lianfeng already. That software called Tableau. Okay, any one of you has experience in using Tableau? Yeah. This is very good. Because of a Tableau, okay, they are very powerful in doing the visualization of the data. Because they have quite a lot of visualization tools for you. For example, if you want to generate a heat map, to do data analysis or bubble map, something like that, then they have already preset quite a lot of beautiful template for you to do such a graphics, okay, for your boss in his report. So that's why we no need to mention Power BI in Lianfeng, because we have a replacement for it, that is Tableau. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, let's start. Okay, from Power Query first. Okay, please go to this page. Okay, the sample record data. Sample record data. Basically, okay, after you got this set of data, okay, what should you do at the very beginning? I would like to ask, okay, how many records altogether you can get from this spreadsheet and how to check it? Very simple. You may just simply press the Control button and press the END button. Control, no, not Control N. Control down arrow. Control down arrow. Sorry. Control down arrow. Once you press Control and press down arrow, what does it mean? That means, okay, the active cell will jump to the end of the table. Okay, as you can see here, okay, the roll number is 1001. Okay, but eliminate the header. That means that altogether we've got 1000 record, okay, in this table. Also, if you need to manage a huge amount of data in Excel, what should you do at the very beginning? For my practice, I will turn it into a table first. Okay, why? Okay, let us start. Okay, first of all, okay, how to turn it into a table? Just move the active cell to this V area. Okay, this area we call this area the suspected area as a table area. We have terms in Excel. That is the current region. Okay, we just move the active cell to the current region, and then click the insert tab, and then over here you find an option called the table. That means, okay, the Microsoft Excel will prompt a dialog box to ask you a question, okay, whether or not you would like to turn this range, okay, into a table, and ask also whether this range have the table header or not. Okay, because we have already got the table header, that's why we need to tick this checkbox. And then if you won't have any problem, just simply click OK. Then Excel will turn it into a table. The first thing you need to put and bear in mind is that, okay, once it turns, okay, the Excel range area into a table, then you can find, okay, in the ribbon part of the Microsoft Excel, you find a new ribbon called the Table Choose and Design, right? And then under this tab, you can see on the left-hand side, you will find a table name over here. By default, because we won't name this table, so it will automatically give us the name. It's table 3. If you would like to name it as a very meaningful name, you may just simply do it by yourself like this. Okay, for example, for me, I will name it as TBL. Use a small lowercase TBL. That means this is of a table type. And then this record, I will call it as the record. And this is the name. Basically, for programmers, we like to use this kind of location. Okay, this is what we so-called the Hungarian notation. Okay, Hungarian notation. Do you know why we call it as Hungarian notation? Because in Europe, okay, for those mathematical science, okay, Hungary has a very sophisticated, they are very keen, but they are very good in mathematics in Europe, okay, from Hungary per Hungarian. So that's why if they for this notation, that is kick-started from those Hungarian mathematicians. Okay, basically for Hungarian notation, okay, the first 3 characters, okay, we most of the time we will put the data type, okay, at the first part of the data. Okay, for example, if we know that this is a table, we just have a short form for the table, TBL, okay, in lowercase, and then what next is the name of the table, just like this. This is the Hungarian notation. The reason why we will use this notation, I will show you the benefit of using this notation. Okay, now we have already turned it into a table. And then if you would like to do analysis in the old time, for example, if your boss asks you to retrieve those data which the status is in, then what should you do? You may just simply go to the filter over here, and then click the filter button over here, and then just simply select in, just like this. And then after that, hit the OK button. Then the system will give you all the in records, okay, of this table. However, this is not so good. The reason why, because you need to bear in mind one thing, that is, this is actually the source data. Okay, in data science, okay, we seldom alter those detailed those information inside the source data. Okay, what we should do is using something called the query. Okay, to ask the system questions and ask them to retrieve those data for us and create a new table. This is the correct method we should use. Okay, in data science. So, what should we do? If we just simply filter it, that means okay, so many records will disappear. Okay, from this set of records. That is not a good method. Then what should we do? Then we should apply the Power Query in this scenario. Okay, just a fallback, okay, to fallback the operation. Okay, how to fallback the operation? In the old time, okay, we'll just simply teach you, okay, just click this button and then select Clear Filter from our status, okay, then the operation will be resumed. However, if you say, David, I have already applied more than one filter, then how to resume the all operation in one lot? It is very simple. Just simply go to the data here, and over here, you find an option called the clear. That means it will clear all the filters applied to this table. Just simply click this button, clear. Then resume. Okay, now just think about it. How to make use of the Power Pivots? Okay, just check here. Okay, under the data tab over here, can you see an option called the new query? New query. Can you see an option called the new query? Just simply click the new query. See what happens. Over here, you will find quite a lot different options for you, right? New query. Basically, this is the for new query. That means you may create a new Power Query over here. Okay, just have a look on those options. Okay, first of all, from this one onward, from file, from database, from Azure, and this one ASA. Okay, for Microsoft, they pronounce this one as a ASA. I don't know why they pronounce it as a ASA. Okay, AZURE. They pronounce it as a ASA. Okay, and this one is from online service, and this one is from other sources. Okay, basically this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means where you would like to retrieve data to do a Power Query. Okay, for the first one from file, what does it mean? That means that you may retrieve those data from a single file. Okay, basically there are quite a lot of options for you. For the first one, this is from the Excel workbook, and the second one is from the CSV file. And the third one is XML, and this one is the text file and JSON file, and so on and so forth. Okay, I would like to tell you one thing, that is, in data science, most of the time people would like to use basically this one, and this one, as the data source. For CSV file, XML, text file, and JSON file. Okay, the reason why, because in data science, people would like to use a different platform, to perform machine learning programming. For example, if you are using a Macintosh machine, then all the stuff should be put in the Mac OS. If you are using the Linux machine or Linux machine, then all the stuff will put in the Linux format or Unix format. Over here, we've got only a common standard for all this kind of data. That is the text format. Basically, for CSV, XML, text, and JSON file, 4 of them are text format. So that's why if you would like to commonly share data, among different platforms, I will suggest you to use this kind of format. CSV file, XML, CSV standard, XML standard, text standard, or JSON standard. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear? Basically for JSON standard, it is the hottest standard, nowadays in the world. The reason why? Anyone know why JSON standard become the hottest common data sharing format nowadays in the world? Do you know why? Because free. Basically, all of them are free of charge. Do you know why you start with J? J stands for what? J stands for JavaScript. Because from now, maybe 3 years back, from that time onward, JavaScript become one of the hottest programming language at that time. And that time, because we find that we need to share data, among different data platforms. So that's why those Java programmers to compromise to have a standard called JSON. So whenever you find a JSON file, what does it mean? That means that most of the time those data are written by JavaScript. Because if you like to do programming, one JavaScript programming I would like to introduce to all of you. That is called the Node.js. Anyone of you heard about it? Node.js. If you like to have your own apps on your mobile, Node.js is one of the very important language you need to learn. This is a very good language. Now just have a look here. If you say, well, I would like to diversely connect, this Excel spreadsheet, or the Power Query to the database, is it possible? The answer is yes. As you can see here, what does it mean? That means that we can diversely retrieve those information directly from the Oracle database. Do you know why I would like to point out this very important point to all of you? Because our XTS system, basically the database is Oracle database. That means if you learn Power Query, if the ITS gives us the authority to access the database directly. We can making use of the Power Query and then to retrieve data and generate our report automatically with Power Query. Of course, okay, the ITS don't allow us to access their database. Do you know why? Because if we have all of us has the access right to the database directly, that means all the data are not secure anymore. So that's why this feature, I don't think the ITS will release, okay, in the foreseeable future. Okay, basically this is I just want to give you some idea, because in the future maybe you go to another company. If that company gives you the access right to the database, then you can make use of this kind of function. Okay, this is very important. And here, wow, do you know what is Asar? I still don't know why it will pronounce it as Asar. Okay, all the Microsoft guy will pronounce it as Asar. Because for me, I will pronounce it as Azure. But they all of them will pronounce it as Asar. I don't know why. Okay, do you know what is Asar? After I call, okay, all the Microsoft guys pronounce it as Asar, then you will know this is actually the port from Microsoft. Okay, anyone of you heard about what is AWS? Anyone of you heard about what is AWS? Amazon Web Services. Yes, this is very important as well. And also another very common platform, okay, that we compare with the AWS is the Google Cloud Platform as well. The reason why we will have AWS and Google Cloud Platform and also Asar, the reason is like that because most of the startup companies, or maybe some have a scale company, they don't want to no longer to own their own server room. For example, Indian phone. Okay, if you go to the first floor over there, you can see our central server room over there. Okay, basically we need to pay for the power, electricity charge, and the water and the file system, and also we put a lot of money on that server room to maintain the operation as well. This is a wastage of money, okay, because we are not, okay, selling this kind of service to other people to earn money, okay? We just use the feature to maintain our operation in Indian phone. So this is nonsense to own a server room like this scale, okay? So that's why the Microsoft and Google and also Amazon, okay, just provide services. They say, okay, our servers, our server farm are large enough, okay, to provide services, okay, to our customers. If you just simply pay us the rent, then you can rent our service, okay, in monthly base or yearly base, okay. Just that simple. In the old time, if you are a technical guy, if you would like to build a server, okay, how much time you need to spend to build a Microsoft Windows 2000 server at that time? 2000, maybe 2016 server. Do you know how long you will take to build a server? In the old time, most of the time for me, because I'm I'm not so keen in building up the server, I will waste maybe 1 to 2 hours to build a server. But after use of the Microsoft Azure, Google, and also the AWS, I just take a few structures, and then after maybe 10 minutes, then I can already build a server, and which is already put on the internet already. And also because with the support of Google, Microsoft, or Amazon, okay, I can guarantee no virus and no hacker can hack the server as well. Of course, I need to pay money. Okay, I just simply pay money. Of course, that means, what does it mean? That means if in the future, if you would like to own your own company, okay, then you need not to pay money to build your own server room. You just pay money to Microsoft, Google, or Amazon. Then you may own your own server on the web, and which you can make sure all the data over there are secure. Okay? This is actually the quite a quick change, okay, since 2 years back. Okay? Of course, if you are not connected to the Microsoft service, for example, if you are connected to AWS or Google Cloud Services, then you need to make use of this one. Okay? Now, let's have a look. Okay, if I would like to create a query, then what should we do? Now, we would like to, from our Excel workbook. Okay, because this actually is the Excel workbook, right? We just create. Okay, we just create. So what should we do? You just go to the new query, and here from file, and then you may just go to the from worksheet, the workbook. Just click from workbook. See what happens. Okay. over here, and then just simply go to the directory where you put this file. Okay, for example, for my file, I just put it under my OneDrive phone and under Excel level 3 and under this folder, okay? I just simply select this file, okay? Sample data file at Excel level 03 data exploration. Just like this. I just simply select this file, okay? Of course, if you say, David, we have already opened this file, and then again we need to go to the Power Query and then select back to this file. You think this is a little stupid? Yes, it is very stupid. Okay, however, if those data files are come from another, maybe an external data file, then it is very useful for you. However, if you say, if that those data are come from a table inside the same workbook, or maybe under the spreadsheet of the same label, then of the same file, then what should we do? Okay, again, can you see here? Besides we click View Query, can you see here we have another option called the from table. Can you see what is the from table? Okay, this is also why I would like you, okay, if you like to manage those data which are in large scale, you need to first of all to convert it into a table. Because if you are using the Power Query, you may just simply click this option from table, and you may call back those data from those data file, a data table inside the same Excel spreadsheet. Okay, let's have a look here. Just simply click from table. Once you click from table, see what happened. Because we have already generated a table, and also at that moment, before we click the button, our active cell okay, just like this. Because at the very beginning, okay, I just moved out my active cell inside this table. If I just simply click the from table, then the system will automatically open the Power Query editor for you, and then you can see, okay, all the data from the current table has already exported to the Power Query editor. Can you see this? Okay, this is very convenient. Okay, this is point number 1 I would like to share with you. And then the second thing, that is, can you see on the right hand side, the query setting. Can you see on the right hand side, we've got something called the query setting. Basically, what are they? Just have a look. Okay, what are they? First of all, okay, do you still remember what is the name of the table? The name of the table is TBL record, right? And now, because we just want to create a query, okay, to retrieve those data from this table. So by default, okay, the query will use the same name, okay, TBL record. However, I don't want to, okay, let you misunderstand, okay, which from which. So I would like to rename, okay, the name here. I just simply QRY and record. What does it mean? That means, okay, whenever, okay, I find the name is QRY record, that means this is not a table. This is actually a query. Just a question that we ask the database to retrieve data for us. Okay? This is a QRY. I want to rename it. Okay? Of course, if you say, I don't want to rename it, okay, you may just leave it as a TBL record as well. But I don't want to get mixed, okay, so I would like to rename it. Okay? This is point number 1. And then point number 2 is, because this is a query, okay, the first step is we retrieve data from the table, right? So, can you see the Untitled step over here? But the first one is to retrieve that from the source. So, this is the operation from the source. And the second thing, that is to change the type. What does it mean by change type? Okay, just have a look on the left-hand side. Can you see over here? Okay, basically this part is more or less the same like that of the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. However, over here, can you see a very important, the major differences over here? That is, okay, can you see at the top of the header? Can you see here? They will put the header, okay, as the header of each column. For example, this one is our date time, okay, then they will put it on the header, okay? And this one is our name, our email, and our status. And also, can you see here on the left hand side, can you see an icon over here? That means, okay, the Power Query can recognize, okay, the data type of the data of this column. For example, can you see here, we've got the calendar and also clock over here. That means, okay, the system will recognize, okay, this column of data as the date and time data type. And for this one, we've got ABC over here. That means, okay, the system will recognize this column as the text format. And this one also text format, and this one is text format as well. If the system recognize, okay, the column as a numerical format, what we can see here is something like 1, 2, 3. That means, okay, they will treat those data from this column as a numeric data, as number types. Is it here? Okay, and then over here, we just do something. Okay, for example, if you would like to, we would like to, okay, filter those data, okay, which is after the 1st of November, then what should we do? Can you see here? We've got something like the drop-down list filter. Just click the drop-down list filter again, and then over here, can you see an option called the data time filter? And after you find the data time filter over here, can you see an option called the after? Just indicate after. As I mentioned before, I would like to filter those dates, which is after the 1st of November. Then what should we do? We just click here, and then click the calendar again. Okay, I just, okay, select here. After the 1st of November. Okay, it's after the 1st of November. And then after that, just indicate the OK. See what happened. Okay, first of all, okay, you can find all the data will be after the 1st of November. However, can you see here? On your right hand side, the archive step will become the first thing from source, and the second thing change the type, okay? And the third one is become filtered rows. Can you see the operation like this? If you say, well, David, I would like to fall back the operation, then what should I do? You may just simply click this button, okay, to remove the operation. Then the table will resume normal, okay? Of course, if you would like to do it again, just after the 1st of November, just do it in this way and click OK. Can you see this? Okay, and now another thing that's this, okay, on the right hand side, I would like to, okay, get only those in record only. Those out record, I want to ignore it, want to remove it. Then what should I do? Very simple. Just go to here again, and then just simply remove the out option over here, and then click again the OK. Then on the right hand side, it will have a filter rows 1. What does it mean? The first one is the filter the what? The time range, okay, which is I would like to retrieve those record which is after the 1st of November. And the second filter is for what? For those in record only, right?
Can we be naming the filter rows?
This one? Of course. At the right click and for this one, rename it. Can you see here? Rename it. For example, as mentioned by this colleague, okay, we will name it as what? In record only. And for this one, we name it as time range. Okay? Okay, another thing that is, okay, can you see here? If I click here, okay, it will operate, okay, from source till in record only, this operation. However, if you say, I would like to fall back for one step, just click here again. You'll see on the left hand side, the record will show all the record for you, including the out record as well. Can you see the differences? Okay, basically, okay, up to this moment, okay, for our setting up to this moment, we just generating a query. Okay, up to this moment, no new record, but no new table being generated, because what we got here is a query and a table, for which the table are the source data table. Okay, we just apply this query to ask the Microsoft Excel to retrieve our required data, and then have a view over here to let us have a look, see whether those data are suitable for us or not. Okay, this is what we did, okay, up to this moment. Is it here? Okay, now to another thing, that is, okay, besides filter, we still have another operation. Okay, basically for data analytics, okay, data science, okay, we've got okay, besides okay, we've got the filtering. We also have a very useful features called the split column features as well. Okay, what is the split column? Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, for example, if we just highlight this column, okay, because as you can see here, okay, for this column we've got what? Both the dates and time. If I would like to separately, okay, put it as dates and time in separate column, then what should we do? Okay, the operation is very simple. Just highlight here, and then can you see the split column here? Just click the split column, and over here we've got the two options. The first is using the delimiter, and the second option is to use the number of characters. What does it mean? That means the first one, they will recognize a delimiter and then to separate the column, okay, from the single data. And then for the second one, that means, okay, they will count according to the width, okay, we set, okay, to separate the column. Of course, for this one, but most of the time, I would like to use the delimiter. Okay, especially if you would like to manage those data come from a CSV file. I think most of the time you'll use the delimiter, okay, to separate the columns. Okay, just go here and then click the delimiter. See what happens. And then the system will ask you, okay, split column by delimiter. And it will ask you, okay, which delimiter you would like to use. Okay, as you can see here, this is the date and this is the time. What in between the dates and time are the what? Is the what? Is the space. So over here, I just simply select the space. And over here is very funny. Okay, we've got so many options over here. Leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter, and here each occurrence of the delimiters. It is very useful. Okay, for this time, I will tell you, I would like to select this option, the leftmost delimiter. What does it mean? Because as you can see here, the space, okay, appear two times in this record. What does it mean? If I select this one, then this column will be separated into what? Split into three. Because we got date, time, and also AM, PM, right? So it will split into three different columns if we select this option. If we select this one option, rightmost delimiter, what does that mean? That means they will cut over here. That means we've got the date, time will in a separate column, and the AM, PM will have to another separate column. Okay? So this is not what we are going to what we want. We just want to what? To cut over here. So we'll select this option, leftmost delimiter. Okay, after that, just try. Okay, see what happened. Dates and time. And also one more thing. Can you see here? Besides, okay, we split the column by delimiter, and then an additional operation has already been added by the system. That is the change type 1. Can you see here? Change type 1. What does it mean? Can you see over here? This is the first column. At the very beginning, this is a days time format, and now it become a what? A days format only. And here, for this one, originally is date time format, and now become time format only. Can you see the differences? Okay, this is the basic operation of query, Power Query. But to this moment, okay, what we got here are still what? Are still a query. This is not an actual table for us. So what next we should do is like this. Can you see here at the top right corner, top left corner, okay, top left corner. Can you see a button here called the close and load. Just simply click this button, close and load. See what happened. What happened? Can you see? Okay. Basically, okay, in Microsoft Excel, it will what? Generate a new spreadsheet for us with a new table inside. Can you see this? Okay, for the new table, what is the name of the new table? The new table called the QRY record. Can you see here? QRY record. Can you see here? Okay, just select the option. Okay, table choose and under design. Can you see at the top left corner? Okay, QRY record. Okay, this table is the QRY record, right? And this is actually the table just generated by our query, QRY record. Okay, And then on the right hand side, can you see here on your right hand side, beside the QRY record, okay, can you see on the right hand side we've got how many query? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 query all together, right? On the right hand side, we've got 4 query all together. Basically, for this one, okay, the bottom one is our QR record. Okay, finally, how many records they has already been known and generated? Okay, we've got altogether 514 records altogether, right? And how about if we've got, okay, some additional record put into the source record, then what should we do? Then you better click this button. Because whenever you click the refresh button, then the system will again to retrieve those data and then to use the same query to filter the record for us. Okay, so whenever you want to refresh or maybe re-execute the query, you just simply click this button. And the reason why we still have a 1, 2, 3, this 3 query, the reason is that because this is my mistake. Because when I'm preparing this set of sample data, I forget to delete this query. So that's why, okay, you can still find this query over here. In order to prevent you, okay, from getting lost, okay, I will suggest you to delete this query. Okay, how to delete it? Just try, see what happens. This one is supplier query, right? If I would like to delete it, then what should I do? Right click this and then what? Select the delete, right? See what happens. Click delete, see what happens. Boom, oh, can't delete. Why? And try another one, this one. See how can we delete it? Just try again. Oh, can't delete. Why? The reason is like this. Because for the query, we may have dependency. Dependency. What does it mean? That means maybe some query retrieving data, they will base on those results from other queries. If those queries, okay, they have some dependent query to ask them for information, then that query we can kill. Just like if a mother and father, okay, they have a child, okay, they can't die, okay. We need to first of all to make sure their kid is died, then they can die. Okay, the parent can die. This is the relationship, okay? Because if over here, okay, we've got to merge. Okay, the reason why we'll have to merge over here, because the merge, we'll merge those data from both the supplier query and user query. Okay, because this merge query, okay, connected to these two queries, so that's why the system will prevent users and suppliers query, okay, from delete, okay, from the system. So if you try to delete the merge query, see what happens. Right click and delete. See what happens. Then it will ask you, okay, are you sure you would like to delete the merge one? If I click delete, then it's gone. And then again, if I delete the user query, delete again, and then ask me, okay, whether or not you want to delete it. Can you see the differences? That means if you find some query has some depends on their results, then those query cannot be deleted, okay, in Microsoft Excel, okay? And now our Excel spreadsheet with only one query, that is QRY record. Is it clear? This is what, okay, Power Query can do. This is the elementary operation for a Power Query. Okay, remind you one more thing, okay? The first thing, okay, the reason why using query, okay, the first reason is that we would like to reserve, okay, all the data inside the source data table. Okay, we don't want to alter the source data table. Okay, in our data analysis process. Okay, this is point number one. We want to keep it. The second thing that is, okay, when we design our query, okay, we can try an error, okay, in the Power Query platform, okay, we can try see whether we can filter it, delete it, or trim it, or split the column, okay, do all the stuff, and then we can fall back very easily inside the Power Query editor. Okay, this is the second reason why we would like to do it. And the third reason why we would like to do it is that after you run the query, then the Excel spreadsheet will generate a new data file for you, a new data table for you. At that moment, we will got our final data table. Okay, before we try an error in the query, no more memory space will be occupied in your computer. Okay, this is the third reason why we use the Power Query. And the fourth reason, now I will show you. Because now, let's have a look here. Okay, can you see? Okay, over here, we've got the two table, okay, two spreadsheet. One is the supplier spreadsheet, and the other one is the transaction spreadsheet. Can you see here? Transaction, and here is the supplier spreadsheet. Can you see? We've got two spreadsheet, okay, supplier spreadsheet and transaction spreadsheet. Okay, both of them, okay, over here. But now I would like to do one thing, that is, okay, first of all, okay, for the supplier spreadsheet, you can see here, we've already got it named as a table. Okay, the reason why, because if we move our active cell over here, and then we will find the table tools and click design, we've got the name of this table will become the suppliers, right? And then here, if we click this transaction, okay, we've got the table tools over here, and then inside the design tag, we've got the table name as users. But I would like to rename this table, okay, from users, okay, to transaction. Then what should I do? Very simple. If you have already named it as a one table name, then what should you do? You may just simply select the table here again, and then over here, just simply key in TBL Chan. TLANS, chance. TBL chance. This is what I would like to do over here. Because I have only named the table, okay? I don't want to name this transaction spreadsheet, the table inside the transaction spreadsheet, to be user. I would like to rename it. I just simply click this table, and then go to the table choose over here and select the design tab, and then over here to rename it as TBL chance. Okay? And again, for the supplier spreadsheet, I would like to rename it from supplier to TBL supplier. Just do it like this. That means whenever if you got you name the table wrongly, and you may amend the table name just for the step what I'm doing right now. Okay, select the table again, and then go to the table tools, and then select the design tag, and then go to data name to rename it. Okay. Now I think most of you will know why they will always keep for the table will become the first three characters as a TBL. And the reason why I would like to name it as a data type, because over here you will find you can see two data types. The first one is the table, and the second one is the query, right? Now let's have a look here. Just have a look over here. In transaction, see over here, we've got something called the supplier code, right? And over here for the supplier, we also got the supplier code over here as well. Because we would like to merge these two tables together. Then in the old time, what should you do? Then you need to making use of using a function called the formula called the VLOOKUP, right? And VLOOKUP all the time, VLOOKUP, something like that, right? However, if you find that VLOOKUP is useless, then what will you do? Then you will use some advanced features called the match and index, right? Index and match, I think most of you know how to use it, right? Index and match. Because of a VLOOKUP, function formula can only search the first column of the table only. However, if you would like to search the second column or the third column or other column inside a table, then you can make use of a two formula combination. That's using the match and index formula together to search for a single record, right? So it is very complicated. However, after you use the Power Query, can we change our life? The answer is yes. How to change your life? Just have a look here. Now, first of all, we go to the supplier first. For supplier, we've got this table. If we would like to make use of the Power Query to merge these two tables, how to do it? Just let's guess. Go to the data first. And then over here, can you see new query, right? When you select the new query, can you see an option called the combine queries? Wow, that's great. Combine queries. What does it mean? That means we can merge two tables together. Can you see this function? Merge query. If we use the append, what does it mean? That means one table over here, one table over there, we just append it, okay, to turn it into one table. This is the append operation. For the append operation, I think it will become a little bit silly because it is very easy. We just simply do copy and paste also will do, right? Okay, but for merge, okay, then it is very useful. But bear in mind one more thing, that is, what's the name of this operation? The name of this operation is combine queries. What does it mean? That means it can only combine two queries together into one single queries. But what we got now is what? It's only two tables, not two queries. Then what should we do? That means we need to, first of all, to turn our table into query first. And then merge that two query together, then we will got a new query. After we got the new query, then we can generate a combined merge together table. See? This is the operation. Of course, you may find that, wow, it is a little bit complicated, but it is already simplified compared with using the VLOOKUP, right? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, what should we do? Okay, first of all, okay, go to the supplier table first, TBL supplier. And then over here, go to the data. And then over here, can you see from table, right? From table. Click again the from table. See what happened? Dun, 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 dun. Once we click the from table, what happened? Wow. It has already turned our what? The supply table into a query already. Okay? However, okay, for our best practice, I would like to turn to rename it, okay, from TBL supplier to what? QRY supplier. Because I would like to differentiate, okay, between this one is query and that one is the table, right? But this is also reasonable and logical. Okay, let's think it. Because before we merge two query together, okay, basically we need to make sure all the record, okay, we would like to merge together are clean enough, right? So the reason why the Microsoft Power Query urged us to have a two query to merge together is reasonable because we need to massage our data before to merge processing, right? So before you merge that two query, you better use another query to clean all the data inside that table before you merge, right? This is very logical and very reasonable. Of course, these two tables is only an example data, so that's why they are clean. So no further operation is required. But now has an observation here. Okay, basically for every newly created query, okay, most of the time the second steps are what? Should be change types. Let's have a look on this change type. Okay, here we've got the ABC. I've already mentioned before because this is textual data. That means, okay, for those data with numbers, of course, for this one, why it also name it as what? ABC as textual data. Why don't they have a 1, 2, 3 over here? Why don't they treat them as a numerical data to process it? Do you know why? Of course, we've got a special character over here. That is the hyphenation, right? Hyphen character. And also, even though, okay, they are all in numeric, and sometimes we need to treat them as textual data as well, especially for those fast number and telephone number. Because if we don't treat them as a textual data, then it will maybe over here, it will become something like the 8.52 times 10 to the power 10, something like that. It will appear in our system. Okay, so that's why sometimes even though those information are in numerical data type, we also need to treat them as a textual form and textual data. Is it clear? For example, fast number, telephone number are this kind of example. Okay. Just have a look here. Okay, we have already got one more query. This good. Okay, we got it. Okay, put it aside. Okay, we just refresh and review. Okay, that's fine. And now, what next is we would like to turn another table into the query. Okay, so what should we do? Over here, click here. We've got here a close and low, right? Close and low. Let me have a look. Okay, see whether we are okay. And try again here. Hold again and close and low. See what happened. We've got one more spreadsheet. Okay, sheet 3, and we've got the query supplier. Okay, and again here, if we just mouse over the query over here, you may see the overview for those data inside this dialog box. And if you would like to add the query, okay, then you may just simply click the add the button over here. Can you see here? Okay, this is very simple. Okay, now, just fall back to our example. Okay, another query we would like to create is the transaction query, right? So we just go to the transaction here, and then again we go to the data, and over here just click the from table, right? Click again the from table, and then we've got another new query called the TBL trans, right? And because by default, the query name will follow the table name. So I would like to rename it as the QRY trans. Again, if you are clear in mind, all the stuff, and if you don't want to rename it, you may just rename it as TBL trans. But for my best practice, I will suggest you to rename it. Don't get mixed both stuff, because in data type, they are different. One is table and one is the query. After you got this, again, go to the close and node here, and then again you got another spreadsheet created. This is sheet 4, sheet 3 as well, and on the right hand side we've all together 3 query, right? The first one QRY record, second one QRY supply, and the third one is the QRY trans. And now what we would like to do is to merge the QRY supplier and QRY trans together, right? How to do it? Just go to the data again, and over here, new query, and then over here, select the option called the combine queries. Combine queries. After we click the combine queries, combine queries, merge. See what happened. After we click the combine query, over here, it will show you, select tables and match columns to create a merged table, right? And over here, query trans, because we've got altogether 1, 2, 3 query together. What we are going to do is we would like to merge both the QRY supplier and QRY trans together, right? So, first of all, we select the QRY supplier over here. This will become the first query. And the second thing is I would like to merge with the QRY trans query over here. And then what we would like to merge these 2 query together is by means of a key. That is the supplier code. So over here for supplier query, I select the supplier code, and over here for the query trans, I also highlight the supplier code. What does it mean? That means the system need to merge both query with the same key. Basically, let me have some idea for you. In this data science, we have a subject called the relational database management. In relationship database management, we will treat table as something called a relationship. A relationship. And for the key, for each record, we will call this key as the PK. PK, what does it mean for PK? That is primary key. That is primary key, not another PK intended, That is PK, primary key. And for those, information you would like to match to another table, and that key will become another key. We call it as the foreign key. Okay, so most of the time we will map from one table to another table. Okay, from the main table we'll code the primary key, we'll match to another key in another table, and that key may be another primary key in another table. But from the perspective of the first table, we'll code that key as the foreign key. Okay, so in Hong Kong government for the Hong Kong identity card, okay, what is the primary key for each person? The primary key is the what? Is our ID card number. Okay? For in E and phone, what is our PK? Our PK is what? Our staff card number. Is it clear? Okay? To make sure every record, every single record in the database accurately, we'll make use of the primary key. Okay? So, okay, now we'll merge these two tables together with this key, right? However, for merge these two together, okay, in operation, okay, we'll call this operation as join. Join these two tables together. However, for join, wow, this is very interesting topic. Can you see here? We have so many join over here. Okay, what we got here is something called an inner join and outer join. Okay, at least you need to differentiate what is inner join and what is outer join. Okay, wow, what is that? Okay, what are inner join and what are outer join? Okay, basically, okay, what are inner join and what are inner join and outer join? Okay, for inner join it's much more easier. Okay, that means okay if those records okay can be found in both the table. Okay, and then we can merge them together, and we so call that inner join. That means that we can find record okay from the table 1, and we can find the table from the table 2. Okay, both of them we can find those records together. Then we match both records together into one. Then we call this kind of merging called the inner join. Is it clear? Okay, this is point number 1. Okay, maybe let me clarify. Okay, at this moment I will call this table as the table 1, and this one is the table 2, right? But for academic guy, okay, we will call the first table as the left table, and the second table as the right table. Okay, so this one is the left table. The first one is left, and the second one is right. Okay, so that's why for the inner join, if both records can be found, okay, in both the left and right record, and then we merge them together, we will call this kind of join is an inner join. However, for outer join, it's different. Outer join, what does it mean? That means, okay, some record can be found on the left table, and some can't find in the right table. Then what should we do? We may just simply ignore those records. Okay, we keep the first one. Okay, so for those can't match record, we just left those fields as null. Okay, maybe this is a little bit complicated. Let us try first. Okay, first of all, we try the inner join. It is very simple. Okay, first of all, just try the inner join. See what happens. Inner join. Once you click the inner join, sometimes, okay, you will find the OK button will become dim. Okay, sometimes, okay, after you choose the join time, over here the OK button will become dim. How to solve this problem? Very simple. Just click the refresh operation over here. Refresh the data over here. After that, the OK button will enable again. Okay. After that, inner join. See what happened. Okay. Only matching rows. See what happened in the information description. Okay. The selection has matched 18 out of the first 21 rows. What does it mean? That means okay, altogether, okay, we've got only 18 records got their partner in another table. That means in the left table we've got from the left table we've got only 18 guys got another partner in another table. See what happened? Just click OK. See what happened? Because the inner join is simpler. Now, can you see here? Okay. In the table, let me show you. In the table, I can't take this. Okay. In the table, this is from the left table. Okay, this is from the left table. Okay, we've got the supplier code. okay, and name, address of the supplier, so on and so forth over here, okay. This is from the supplier code. All together, okay, we've got 18 partners all together. We have already merged both tables together, okay. However, how about the second table? We can't see the second table. Where is the second table? Can you see at the rightmost column over here? Can you see for the rightmost column, we've got something called the new columns. Okay, the new columns, okay, we will have a name called the table. What does it mean? That means if you click this button, okay, can you see? At the top of the column, we've got this button. It's called expand. See what happened? Just click the expand button, see what happened. Hey. Expand. Yes. Then it will ask, okay, how to expand the table. I just simply select all the variable field on from the rightmost table first. Okay. After that, I just click the OK button. See what happened. See? Basically, this is the left-hand side table on the left-hand side. And from the second column of the supplier code, okay, on the right-hand side, these are basically all the information from the right column, right-hand side table. Can you see this table? Information over here. Okay, so this kind of operation, the join operation, we'll call this kind of operation called the inner join. That means both the left-hand side table and right-hand side table has the same record. Got the matching table, got the matched record. So we will call this kind of operation called the inner join. So in order to make sure this is the operation of inner join, so on the right, on over here, for the name of the query, we will call it as QRY inner join. Because I will share my file, okay, with all of you after the lesson. Because if you would like to do revision, you may make use of this file and also the video clip, okay, to do revision, okay, after you go back to your office. This is what we so-called the inner join. Is it here? Okay, now if you say, David, if we'd like to have another join, then what should we do? If we'd like to have another join, what should we do? Because I also mentioned something called the outer join. Then how to make use of the outer join and what are the differences of outer join? Okay, let us have a look. Now, can you see here? This is actually the query editor, right? Can you see on the left-hand side, over here, left-hand side? Can you see over here we've got something called the queries? Okay, if you click here, what happened? Wow, we can see all the query we just create. Okay, QRY record, QRY supplier, and QRY chance, and this one is the QRY inner join. If I say I would like to create another join called the outer join, okay, so what should I do? Then I need to create from step 1, 2, 3, right? Select the table and then join together, something like that. Well, if the query is the operation of the query is very complicated, then it is kind of wastation of my time. Okay, can we base on the existing query to build another new query? Of course, the answer is yes. How to do it? Simple. Just simply right-click this query. QRY inner join. Right-click this. And then over here, we just click this button, duplicate. We've got query inner join, bracket 2. That means we have already duplicated the query already. And then to the right-hand side, I would like to rename it. I don't want to name it as the inner join. It is outer join, for which is the left outer join. So I will name it as the query outer join left. But the problem is, but David, okay, what you did, okay, on this query, okay, although you have already renamed it as the outer join left, however, the operations are still what? Are still inner join. Then how to change it? Okay, simple. We need to do it over here. Because for an expand new column, you know what does it mean? That means that we just expand the column inside the query, okay? However, if you would like to alter the data source, Then what should you do? Then we need to fall back to the step 1 over here, and then right click. Can you see here? We've got an option called the edit setting, right? And see, click the edit setting. See what happened. See? We can see, okay, QRY supplier is still over here, and QRY trans still here, right? And what we need to do here is to change the what? To change the join time. Okay, from inner join to what? Left outer join. Okay, what does it mean? That means, okay, it will include all the data on the left hand side table. If those data, we can't find another partner on the right hand side table, then what will happen? Then those records on the right hand side stuff will left it as null. Okay, just have a look what happened. Okay, left outer join. Okay, after you click this, again, okay, see what happened. And then again, this one QRY outer join left. And then over here, it will become what? New column. Okay, in the previous query, okay, at this moment, I will suggest you to click this button, right? However, remember, we have already got the operation over here. We may just simply click the what? Click the second step over here. Then the system will expand this part for us. Okay, no need to click that button again. Okay? And then on the right hand side, just have a look. Just scroll down, see what happened. Can you see here? We've got the bottom 3 record. Okay, on the right hand side, we've got the record to be null. What does it mean? That means, okay, for this supplier, S004, S014, and S016, okay, they can't find their matching record on the right hand side table. So that's why for the right hand side table, all those records, okay, will become null over here. This is actually the what? The left outer join. That means, okay, we will base on the record on the left hand side table, okay, to merge both tables. This is the left outer join. The same over here, if you would like to, okay, create a outer join, which is for the right table, and what should you do? Again here, right click, and then duplicate again. And then I will do rename over here. I will rename it as right, enter. And then over here, I will go to the source and right hand side, click the edit button. And then over here, select the join time as the right outer join. After that, click OK again. Click expand row. See what happened. Because the first one is the what? The left hand outer join. That means, okay, we will depend on the left hand side table to merge the both table. But for the second one, this outer join is for what? It's the right hand join. What does it mean? That means all the record will based on the right hand side record. So that's why what you can see here after the outer join for the right outer join, then you can see on the right hand side all the record are what? Already over here. However, for those records which are missing, okay, from the left table, then what the system will do? They will just left those fields as null. Can you see this is actually the right outer join? Is it clear? That means that we have an outer join left and outer join right, okay? And how about the full outer join? Just try it, okay? How to do it? Just do it yourself, okay? How to create a fully outer join? How to do it? Just do it by yourself. Very simple. Duplicate. Full outer join. I always find the full outer join a little bit silly. Do you know why? Basically, the left hand side can't find the record, then left it null. And the right hand side can't find it, has the matching partner, then left it null. Then that means, okay, all the missing data will become null, something like that. This is actually the what? The query outer join full, right? And also, if you find that, wow, all the time, if you find that, okay, with the outer join, we can match all the record, right? However, they will find some null record over there, right? So what should you do if you, whenever you find null record, especially when using the join function, you will always find the null record inside the query. So what should you do? Okay, over here, I would like to introduce another very useful function to you. Okay, basically, okay, for the outer join, full outer join, okay, you have to create a very empty, okay, empty record over here, right? Can you see over here? Can you see an option over here? Just click this button. What happened? Okay, this is actually some operation which is for transformation. Okay, so for example, over here, for filtering, okay, for example, over here, can you see we've got so many different operation. One of the operation is called the what? The remove error and remove duplicates as well. Because for the merge operations, okay, we will always have something called the duplicated record, which may be generated after the operation. If you would like to remove those duplicated records, you may just simply click this button, okay, remove duplicates. And also, if you find that when doing the merging, the system generates some error, okay, because for our record over here, we have those are sample records. So that's why, okay, they are error free. However, if you find those the operation, if you find some ERR over here, that means error. Then if you would like to remove those errors, you just simply click this button, remove errors. Then all the error will be removed from your query. That means that after that, no error and no null record can be found, okay, in the newly generated table. Of course, if those record operation with errors, those errored operation will have another table generated for you for reference, okay, to let you know, okay, which data or which records have error in doing the merging operation. Okay? Okay, now this is what I would like to mention. Okay, now at this moment, do you know how to differentiate what is outer join and inner join now? And how to use the left outer join and right outer join already, right? And also, of course, and you say, David, I still find another operation, okay, which is very funny. Can you see here? Okay, I just go to add this second E here. Can you see? Besides outer join and inner join, we still have left anti and right anti. Can you see this? Do you know what are the use of left anti and right anti? It is very simple. Okay, we may just simply, for example, if you work with your colleague, okay, on the table, okay. If your colleague has already filtered all the record, okay, he required, then if you would like to just have your own set of record, then what should you do? You may ask your colleague for his table. And then for the full set of table, and with your colleague's table, you just simply do an anti-join. Then after the anti-join, then you will got your part. Because it will simply eliminate all the record that your colleague required. And then you get those just like the subtraction operation, okay? That means, okay, if you got altogether 1,000 record, okay, in the full set of table, if your colleague has already filtered his own 500 set record, okay, if you would like to get your part, then what should you do? You just simply have a anti-join operation. That means the operation will use the full set data and eliminate those record from your colleague. And then after the operation, then you will got your part. Just like a subtraction operation in arithmetic. Is it clear? Okay, 可以減數咁樣啊 ，A 減 B 就等於 C 咁樣啊 ，Is it clear？ 係咪啊？咁呢一個其實幾得意嘅，不過 anyway，let's see whether you have an application in your daily life. Okay, because for me, I find that okay, both the outer join and inner join are good enough for your daily operation already. Okay, is it here? Is it here? Any question up to this moment?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's say, so you have a source data. In this case, maybe X data, which is XS extract.
Yeah.
Can I actually update my source data? So use my query and then use an
Of
update
course.
data set.
Update the source data? No.
Yeah. So
Business query is another concept.
I have new data. So let's say I next week I have a different XT extract.
Yeah.
I want to use the same query. Can I do it?
Yes, of course. For example, okay, just like this. Because, okay, let me show you. Yeah, this is a very good question. Because for the query, okay, up to this moment, you will know, okay, query is actually some programming instruction which will instruct, okay, the database, okay, to retrieve, okay, those data, those required data for us, okay, and doing some massage, okay, in between, right? However, if you say, if I keep on updating the source data, okay, maybe those source data come from a single file. Maybe let's say, okay, this is a daily operation in EFO. For example, if we use the dynamic report in XTS, we just generate the dynamic report, okay, the day one, and then we use, okay, the Power Query to create some query to retrieve those data from that data file, okay, dynamic report, from the dynamic report. Then, okay, after we generate a set of query for that dynamic report, is it possible if this time I will generate another dynamic report, maybe 2 months later? Okay, we can use the same query to operate the same set of data? The answer is yes. We just need to know one thing, that is, make sure 2 source data with the same file name, then that is good enough. Okay, is it clear?
If the rows are different, that's okay.
The rows are different. If the rows are different, no, it's not okay. If the rows are different, okay, of course, if the number of rows are different, it's okay. However, if the first column, the first row is different, maybe have we need to consider. We have something need to change it to make a change.
And so you suggest different files, right? Not in one file. So your query and your source now should be different file in order for this to work.
Different files?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So query in one Excel, then maybe dynamic report in a different Excel,
Different format.
Different Excel, different files. You save different files, we save in the same file like this.
You need to make sure the names are the same. For example, the same table name, the same file name. Of course, if the dimension of the table are different, also okay. However, I need to make sure the name are the same, because what the programming over here to recognize the table and the data are using the name of the table name and the file name as well. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? If no more questions, and then let us have a break. Okay. 5 minutes back break, okay, and then we will go to those topics, okay, on Power People, okay.好，等等，我 save 咗啲嘢先。住先，應該唔會咁得。
之前會俾我揀㗎。
係咯，應該要揀
但係而家
喎。
冇得揀喎，就係想俾我揀。
我睇先，我睇下先。好 ，just 睇睇先。哇！呢個真係喎，一 move 咗過嚟喎呢個。呢個我要同ITS 嗰邊，我已經問 Microsoft 嗰邊有冇啲咩解決方案先。因為佢個 plug in 有少少問題，我發覺係佢個 plug in 做咗嘢。我要幫你跟先呢個，我要問人，你個真係要。而家呢一刻鐘我都答你唔到而家。
同埋咧而家係咪我哋可以用 OneDrive 嘅？
可以。
咁我
幫你啊。
好喎，唔該。
我睇下你着咗未先。應該着咗㗎啦，應該係。
冇，我呢個應該 save 係
local 嘅呢啲嗱，我教你着一次。呢一個。你去一個叫 office.com， 你 sign in 咗先，用翻你自己嘅 login 同 password。
用翻你幫呢個。
冇錯。我 我覺得公司嘅汽水機咧有啲咁嘅 sparkling water 咧，我覺得簡直係一個特徵。我好中意飲有氣嘅嘢，但係唔中意甜咯。
咪 state 3
Yes。係喎，尋日你有冇鬧課啊？呢度8點。尋日最大新聞，咪住先，撳我先。有啊，點解嚟㗎？有冇咧？個咁恐怖嘅，你係咪 F 你㗎你？唔係 F 係 VCS。阿 Peter 記得上次咧點樣幫同事搞翻個 OneDrive 出嚟，記唔記得？冇就冇㗎，係咪啊？但係好似上一次係咪我哋啲撳下有啲同事撳個 mail 就佢撳一翻出嚟？
唔係，因為其實嗰日咧係有啲問題啊，全部都係即係冇覆翻。
哦，即刻踢咗，佢未俾你啊呢一個。
咁我要做啲咩度
Dorothy 你 send email 俾我。好冇？好。
嗰日咧 Kevin 喺後邊。
哦，即刻踢佢哋。哦。
你個 trigger 可以上 table，你個 table 即刻就係因為有問題，跟住即刻，
咁即係一定要 face to face session 會隨時，即係我覺得一定要 face to face session。Okay, actually, I would like to check one thing, okay, with all of you, because you know, okay, the Lian Feng, okay, ITS has already launched the O365 application, okay, to all the staff, okay, all the staff in Lian Feng globally, okay, because we find that, say, some of you didn't have the access right to the O365 platform, okay? Because I just found one colleague over here, okay, won't have the access right. Okay, I would like you, okay, to check, see whether you or not you still you have already got your access right to O365. Okay, the test is very simple. You may just simply go to the a website called the office.com. Office.com. And over here in office.com, you just simply click the sign in over here, sign in. After you click sign in, see what happened. Okay, actually the website will ask you for your login name and password. For login name, please use your Lian Feng email account to log in. For example, for me, I'm davidman@lianfeng.com. Okay, for you, maybe you are Susan Lee, then Susan Lee@lianfeng.com. And then after that, the system will ask you for your password. Okay, then just key in your Windows login password. That's it. See, okay, after that, okay, see whether you can log into the platform or not. Okay, this is step 1. I want you to check yourself. Okay, see whether you have already got your Lian Feng account, like Lian Feng O365 account. Okay. After that, okay, see whether you've already got, okay, both the mail and OneDrive. See where, okay, after you launch the website, okay, this is actually the O365 web platform. This is what we so-called the web platform. Yeah.
If it does have the button mail, make sure click on it first to see if you actually can go to the mail. If it can't go to the mail, then you have to contact ITS to activate it for you.
Oh, or maybe you may just simply send me, David Matt, the email. I will help you to consolidate all the stuff and then send to the ITS, okay, for help. Okay, of course, if you, okay, you get this page?
Yeah, I'm already.
Already got it, okay. You have already got your OneDrive and mail already, right? Any one of you?
I have mail but not OneDrive.
Okay, just send me an email, okay? If you still can't find your mail or OneDrive, okay, try another method, okay? Just click the top left corner over here. Can you see here, we've got something called the all. All. Click the all option over here and see whether you've got the OneDrive over here. Okay, if you still can't find your OneDrive over here, please send me an email and say, okay, I lost my OneDrive, okay, and then I will consolidate all of your name and then send to the ITS to follow up, okay? Because if you find they've got some problem in migrating the system. okay, from the old Office to the old 365. Okay, at this moment. So that's why whenever we have lesson, we would like to check whether you encounter problem or not. Okay, if you won't voice out and you don't know you didn't have the access right, okay, no one else can help you. Because they just know, okay, they has already granted you the right, but they don't know whether or not you have already successfully get your service. Okay, that's the problem. Okay?
I saw there is an app called Form. Is that similar to
App
Google?
called Form.
Yeah. Form.
Form. F-O-R-M, Form. Let me have a look.
Is this similar to Google Form?
Yes. Oh no, this I don't know because it seems to be some new features. This is very okay challenging actually for us because of our O365. This is actually a cloud platform. That means whenever Microsoft has some new features launched, then they will directly launch the O365 without inform us. So that's why when every day when you switch on your Office.com platform, you will find some new stuff. And you may find yourself very happy because every day you will have some new stuff for you to try. However, some feel very upset because you need to learn something. Then you need to pay your effort to learn something new, and maybe that new features may be not useful to you. Actually, if you can't find your OneDrive or mail, just email me. Of course you can't find the mail, you can't mail with the web platform. You may just simply use your mobile phone to send me the email. Anyone? Yeah.
Internet, right?
This one is not internet. You can access those information with your home machine as well.
So
Yeah.
the Excel file is on the cloud, and
On the cloud.
I can also share with other people outside.
Actually, at this moment for those OneDrive files, stored in the OneDrive, ITS has some instruction that is to suggest you to just keep it yourself only. Don't share those files in your OneDrive with other parties.
So even my colleagues, my team members,
Actually, functionally, you may share it. However, because for some security concern, they will suggest you not to share it with the OneDrive. If you really want to share the working file with your colleague, they will suggest you to use your SharePoint. Of course, I know quite a lot of us, complain about the user interface of SharePoint is not user friendly. However, what ITS say, this is the most secure way to share file among our team. This is what they suggest. And also, one more thing I would like to share is for OneDrive at this moment, you have the ability to share file with other peoples, but the other peoples, only limited to Lee and phone calling, and which are still a lot suggested by the ITS. This is what I can tell you. And this is what the ITS talked to me, so I would like to share with all of you, Because we have so much security concern. I have some experience last week, I will share with you. Because last week, ITS just tell me, some people in Africa logged in with my account to the Office.com platform, in Africa. I just tell them, I am not in Africa for business trip right now. How come my account being locked in Africa? This is point number one. And the point number two is, they have record, in their system. That is, David Mann didn't take any phishing web link, with this account in Lee and phone, or even outside the office. This is the second finding they got. So that's why they are still checking, see how those hackers in Africa can hack my account. This is still a question. So for information security, it is very, very important nowadays in the world. Especially you will use your own mobile phone to access a different website and with your account as well. So that's why if you have access, to those social platforms, for example, like Facebook, maybe Facebook, Instagram, and something like that, Google Drive, something like that. You better set your security level, from single login to double factor authentication. Do you know what is double factor authentication? Basically, what does it mean? That means whenever you log into a new machine with your account, maybe use a Facebook in a new iPad or in a new computer, then they will have a phone call to your mobile phone to make sure, okay, you are the one, okay, to log in with a new mobile phone or new iPad device, or else you are not able to log in without the mobile authentication. Then you can't log in with a new machine with your existing account. I think the two-factor authentication is the best way to offend your data security. Okay. Be honest. For example, in the internet, I always go to the Taobao to buy stuff. Okay, because in Taobao it's very cheap in price. Okay. What I'm doing right now is that to use the Alipay, okay, in Taobao. Okay, this is very convenient. However, if I go to mainland China, mainland China, okay, I seldom use the WeChat Pay to pay money. Do you know why? Because at this moment I can't cover myself. I use a QR code to let people to scan my QR code and get money from my account. Because this is single factor authentication. Because this is very dangerous. Okay, because of a better security check in information in IT field is like that. After somebody else scan my QR code, I should have another signal from the server to make sure that guy is the right guy I send money to them, to give me the signal to inform my mobile phone in order to transfer the money to that guy's account. However, up to this moment, for Alipay, for the WeChat Pay, they don't have this function. We just scan the QR code. So that's why please be reminded, okay? Please bear in mind, data security is very important stuff. Yeah. Okay, now, okay, just go to the second part of our session. Okay, please open another file, okay, from my email, okay. Okay, that file called this one, the Power Pivot and Power Query in Excel -data bracket English. Okay, I got the email from Brian Chen already. Yeah, I will consolidate those questions and send to ITS to follow up. Okay. Okay, basically, okay. We have already got the Power Query, okay, to retrieve our required data from different table already, and also from different data source, okay, and also we can making use of the query to merge two data together, and then after the consolidation we've got a new set of data, and then we can do pivot table and do other data analysis process, right? Okay, we have already streamlined the process with the Power Query already. However, let's think one more thing. That is, whenever you merge two records together, okay, is it just a simple two records merged together? Or maybe, okay, for your daily operation, okay, how many tables you need to console together and put it into one? Most of the people, okay, from F&A say they need to consolidate at least 5 tables together to turn it into one single table, and then that to start their data analysis process. Wow, that means in the old time they need to do so many VLOOKUP operations in order to get that stuff. This is a little bit crazy, right? However, after introduce of the Power Query, how their life got changed. That is, they can merge two tables together for one time. That means if they need to merge 5 tables together, how many merge operations they need to take? That means 2 for each operation. That means 2 together, 1 operation. And then 2 to 1 together, okay, and then the second operation. That means altogether to merge 5 tables together, then they need to operate 4 times to make a query for 4 times in order to merge 5 tables together, right? This is a little bit crazy, right? And also, after we merge all the records together, is that your boss they what your boss need is the record itself? The answer is no. What your boss need is the report, not the record itself, not the merged record. So we need to step back and think again. Okay, if my boss is not looking for a merged record, then what should I lead? Okay, this is point number one. If I need to merge more than two tables together, then what better solution that the Microsoft Excel provide? This is another question. So that's why I would like to introduce another very good function, that is the Power Pivot, to all of you. Okay? Basically, power. What does it mean by power? That means you can access all together more than one table to make a pivot table. Okay? That's why they will call it as the Power Pivot. Okay, let's just have a look over here. Okay, you can see here, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tables together, right? 8 tables together. That means, okay, I would like to create a report, okay, and all the data come from what? This 8 table, right? So what should we do? We need to first of all to merge all the table together so that we can generate a report. So how to do it? Okay, first of all, if we need to to manage a large scale of data, then we need to first of all, okay, to turn our data range into a table first, right? This is my best practice. Okay, so first of all, okay, the first table, the customer information right here, customer information, I would like to turn it into a table. So what should I do? First of all, go to the what? Insert, table, and then turn it into a table. Okay. And then over here for the table choose, I would just simply name it as the TBL customer. Right? This is the first one I would like to do. Okay? The first table, TBL customer. And this one, customer information. Is it here? Okay? This is first table I would like to make. And the second table here is the product category. Okay, I just left it behind. Okay, I would like to use this one, the item information one. The item information one. This is actually the item information one, right? I just turn it into a table, insert table, okay, and then name the table as TBL item 01. TBL item 01. Okay? And for this item information, I just left it behind. Okay? And now here, we've got another stuff called the store information, right? Store information. I just want to turn the store information, okay, into a table. Insert table, okay? And then here, just TBL store. TBL store. So up to this moment, how many tables we got? Item, customer, and store. 3 tables we've got, right? And then one more table I would like to have. Please go to the transaction detail. Okay? Just over here. And turn this transaction detail into a table and name it as TBL trans. Now, altogether, we've got trans, stores, items, and also a customer. That means altogether we've got 4 tables. Okay, we just do analysis with this 4 tables first. Okay, this 4 tables first. I don't want to make the stuff very complicated. Okay, we use 4 tables only. Okay, we have already named them, right? And now I would like to go through something not new, but quite old. But I still need to go for it. That is something called the schema. This is a little bit funny because in my because I'm very old already. Okay, I'm very old already. When I still a undergraduate student, in the university, I learned something called the relational database management system. Okay, what I need to do is to draw something called the this kind of diagram. Okay, some database diagram. But now because database management become very common in the world already. So people just want to make them easy, and they just simply code this kind of structure called the schemas. Okay, just let me show you. Okay, can you see this? This is basically one of the schema called the Star Schema. Basically, what is this? Okay, what is Star Schema? Okay. Basically, most of the time, database. Okay, what are database? How database keep store information in the computer? It's like this. Okay, they will treat those information as a table, and different table will store different kind of information. If between them have some relationship, we just link them together. Okay, let us make XTS as an example. Okay, most of the time, for those table at the center part of the schema, we will focus on just like a star itself. Okay, for those subsidiary, a table that is linked to the star itself, we just treat them as those light line, of the star. So we will call this kind of structure called the star schema. Okay, just like the star is here are the line. Sparkling, surrounding the star itself. For example, in the XTS, most of the time, we'll treat the case information as the star itself. And for those, information related to the case, for example, the case related to the customer profile, to know more information about the customer. And also the case information will also link to the supply information and also the item information as well. And also for the case itself, will also link to the invoice information as well. So for the XTS, we can put it like in a star schema. At the center part is a case, and here is customer profile, and here item profile, and here is the supplier profile. Okay, is it clear? This is basically the data structure. Okay, I just make a XTS as an example. Okay, and now just go back to our example. Our example is like that. Okay, we have the transaction details. At the center part. And we would like to link all the store information, customer information, and also the item information together into one. Then what should we do? Okay, now the first part, we have already turned all the stuff into an Excel table. And now what the second is to put all the table into something called an area called the data model. Okay, how to put all this stuff into a data model? Just go back to the data. Just go to the data. Just hit the data, and then over the data tab, can you see a green in color button? This one. In data tools, green in color button called the manage data model. Can you find this button? Just click this button. After you click this button, what happens? The first time you enable it, they will ask you, whether or not you want to enable the data model, right? Enable it. After you enable it, then what happens? It will open something called the Power Pivot. At this moment, I still can't differentiate what is data model and what is Power Pivot because both of them are put together into one user interface. So at this moment, I just treat it as a data model. Do you know why I treat it as a data model? Because after this part, I will try to put all the table inside this data model. After the data model set up, and then we will making use of this data model to create a more complicated pivot table analysis. So at that moment, I will code that operation as the Power Pivot operation. So at the very beginning, we need to first of all to create a data model. Because in the old time, what the pivot table do is to apply the pivot table operation on a single table. But now we need to first of all to what? To link all the table together to make a data table, a data model, and then we will apply the pivot operation on a data model. This is the concept. Quite different and similar also. Although it's quite different, but they still have some part are similar. Okay, now at this moment, what should we do? Okay, now, well, the Siri of the new iOS 11 is quite sensitive. Okay, whenever I shout out, then the Siri will have some reaction. Okay, actually, okay, now, okay, what should we do? Okay, we just simply minimize, okay, the pivot table at this data model operation at UIs first. Okay, minimize it. Minimize it. Okay, we need, what we're going to do is to add the data, add the table into the data model one by one. Okay, first of all, go to this page, customer information, right? And at this moment, okay, this is this we have already named it as a TBL customer, right? And then after this moment, okay, because after we click the manage data model, a new tab has already created. Power Pivot. Can you see a new tab has already created called the Power Pivot, right? Before you click the data model, manage data model, you can't find the Power Pivot. After you click the create data model button, then you can find the tab over here. After that, what you should do here is to click this button, add to data model. Okay? After you click the add to data model, see what happened. It will again prompts the data model user interface, and then what you can see here is something similar to our Excel spreadsheet. But one thing you need to bear in mind is like that. You know why I would like you to first of all to name the data table first. You see here. By default, they will for the tabs, okay, inside the data model, they will making use of the table name of your of the table in Microsoft Excel. If you won't name the table, then they will randomly to create some name for you, and this one will become table 1, and the second will become table 2, table 3, table 4, so on and so forth. Okay, they will give you some meaningless name. So that's why I would like to suggest you to first of all to name all your data, okay, with data table at the very beginning before you do any data and the analytics stuff. Is it clear? It's very important. And then what next? Just add all the rest, okay, table we just create. How to do it? Do the same thing. Minimize the table, and then we go to the item information one, and add to data model. One more table being added. And then again, I go to the store information, and again add to data model. Okay, one more model. And again, go to this transaction details, and then add to the data model. And then after that, what I got inside the data model is altogether, I will have a 4 table altogether can be found inside the data model. Is it clear? Hello, hello.
Yes.
Anybody home? Okay. This is very important. Okay? And now, let's have a look. Well, David, up to this moment, okay, I have already got the 1, 2, 3, 4 table altogether. And now, just have an observation, very simple observation. You see here, under the tab, we have an icon over here. The icon is a link. What does it mean? That means all the information you can see inside the data model are not the actual table. They just link to the Excel spreadsheet, and then we retrieve the data, and then you like to see inside this under this user interface. Is it clear? Okay, this is point number 1. And point number 2 is how come they look like a Excel spreadsheet? Okay, so we just do something very interesting first. Okay, just go to the TBL charts. Okay, this table first. Okay. And then what you can see here is something called the invoice price and invoice cost. Can you see this? Right? So what I'm going to do here, just do an example. Okay, as long as you find that it's quite similar to Microsoft Excel, I just try to do something very similar to Microsoft Excel here. Because as a guy here, I would like to calculate, okay, all the the total price, the total invoice price for all items inside this table. So what you should do here is to type a function, right? So how to do it? Okay, I just do some similar thing in Microsoft Excel. If you would like to calculate it, okay, And let me have some briefing, okay, for the details about this user interface first, okay. The first thing, okay, for those data area, we will have row number over here. However, at the bottom part of this spreadsheet, maybe I don't want to call it as a spreadsheet, maybe for this calculation area, okay, we won't have any row column, a row number over here. Okay, if you like to do a calculation, for example, I may just do calculation here, here, and here. Okay, I just click one of the cell over here, and then I just want to key in my formula. What is my formula? I just simply select this one, and then key in equal to sum. But how come nothing appear over here? Because what you should see is over here. Once you select this cell, okay, if you type anything inside this cell, okay, it will be shown, okay, in this formula bar, okay. And after that, okay, I would like to sum up something. Sum what? And then it will prompt, okay, you would like to sum which column. They will give you the name of the column. For example, I would like to sum the what? The transaction item, the invoice cost. Just simply select the invoice cost and then close bracket. See? Okay, and then after that, I press enter. See what happened. Okay, first, it will what? It will have a calculation over here, okay? Altogether, this is the measure 1, and then all the invoice costs, okay, sum up all together is this value, okay? You see here. And also, it will by default will give something called the measure 1. However, if you say, I don't want to have the name called measure 1, okay, it's meaningless, then what should you do? Total cost. Total invoice cost. Just type something like this, and then enter again. Then, at the bottom part, okay, over here, it will with a name, total invoice cost, and this is the number. Okay? And what is the use of this kind of calculation? Basically, okay, for example, in database analysis, okay, because we would like to have some calculation. If you would like to perform some calculation and want to retrieve easily, okay, with the relationship setting in pivot table, you may first of all calculate this kind of calculation over inside the spreadsheet here. Okay, most of the time, this kind of calculation is for the KPI use. Okay, because we may making use of this kind of calculation in order to compare the KPI. Okay, the key performance indicator. Okay, we use it as a KPI. However, this is only a demonstration. And also, if you type the formula, you can find here, okay, the formula is more or less the same as that of Microsoft Excel, right? However, the name for this kind of function inside the data model, they will have another name. The name is called the DAX function. Okay, DAX formula. They have another name, okay, for those formula inside the data model. They call them as a DAX formulas. So in the future, when people ask whether or not you know DAX formula, you may tell them, I know what is DAX formula. Because basically, they are the same as that of Microsoft Excel. Okay, all the formula are the same, but the usage is different. Okay, for DAX formulas, they can only they are limited to use inside the data model, and also what they can call is not with the range A1 to A1000, something like that. They need to call those DAX formula with the table name and column name as well. These are the differences. Okay, you just try to practice it. Okay, with your desktop machine and know more about DAX formulas. Basically, they are the same. Okay, with that of Microsoft Excel. Okay? Okay, now, this is what I would like to introduce. This is DAX formulas. Wow, some new stuff, right? Actually, and now, okay, we can do calculation over here, but what's the use? Okay, because at the very beginning, I already told you I would like to link all the table together. So how to do it? Okay, see here. Okay, inside the home tab, can you see at the top right corner, besides the data view, can you see another view called the diagram view, right? Just simply click the diagram view. See what happened. Click the diagram view. Then it will become this kind of stuff. Diagram view, right? If you know what is Microsoft Access, then you will know what are they. Okay, they are basically the table, okay, inside database. Okay, if you compare with the photo over here, then you will know what you should do. Okay, basically I have already told you. Okay, we have all together 1, 2, 3, 4 tables altogether. If you would like to do a data analysis, okay, for this 4 table, then you need to first of all to link up their relationship. How to link up their relationship? Wow, it's very complicated. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, first of all, okay, I will treat TBL charts, as the star inside the star schema, right? All the other table will surrounding it, right? So this is a TBL transaction table. If I would like to, here we've got something called a customer ID, right? And I would like to link this customer ID with the customer table. Then how to do it? Okay, first, for the customer ID inside the TBL customer, this is actually the primary key, right? The short form is the PK, right? And this one, because we would like to link to another table, the foreign table, right? So this key will create as the foreign key, okay? But maybe we create the short form is FK, okay? So how to link them together? Very, very difficult. Listen, drag and drop here, done. Wow, very complicated, see? Extremely complicated. Drag and drop, okay? Because not everyone, can do drag and drop very well, okay? Okay? So how to link others, okay? Just have a look, okay? For store ID, how to do it? Wow, complicated operation, okay? Drag and drop, see? And again, for the item ID, drag and drop. Okay, and we have already linked this table together into one. Okay, this is actually the data model. We have already linked them together, right? This is the point number 1 I would like to tell you, okay? And the second thing that is, if you would like to broken the relationship, okay, how to do it? Very complicated, listen. Click this and press the delete button, that's it. Okay, do you want to delete from the model? If you say yes, delete from the model, then gone, the relationship. If you click cancel, remain here, okay? Very simple. Okay, this is the point number 1 I would like to tell you, okay? To link them together. This is point number 1, part 1. And part 2 is, okay, can you see from the link? Let's have a look here. Very important, Okay, can you see from the link? Here is 1 to asterisk, right? What does it mean by 1 to asterisk? Because for the table information, we have a different relationship. One is 1 to many, 1 to 1, and many to many. Do you know what is 1 to many, 1 to 1? For example, the relationship between 2 tables. Maybe the one table is the name list of the husbands, and then another table is the wife. Okay, and then these 2 tables, the relationship is 1 to 1. Is it clear? Very simple, right? However, if the table like this is 1 to many, right? And for this table, 1 is the name of the mother, and here is the names of the kids, because one mother may have more than 1 kids, right? Okay, so we will have what? 1 to many. 1 mother and born so many kids. Many kids. Is it here? This is 1 to many relationship. Okay, for our power data model, okay, by default in the system, we got only 1 to 1 and 1 to many relationship. We won't have many to many relationship. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so at this moment in this chart, you can see something called the many to many relationship. if you really want to have some many-to-many relationship, you need to change the structure of the data model. I will tell you how to do it, okay? I give you an example. Okay, but at this moment, is it clear? This is one-to-many, and we still have another relationship one-to-one. For many-to-many, it's very simple. Okay, many boys have many girlfriends. That is the relationship, right? Many girls will have a many boyfriend. This is very simple, right? Okay, just have a look. Okay, after we got this table, then what should we, what we can do? Because I would like to, after got this table, I would like to do the analysis directly. So can you see here? We've got something called the pivot table, right? Here, we've got something called the pivot table. Okay, just indicate the pivot table. 係啊，佢 call 我，你 WhatsApp 佢問咩事 ？Okay, for the here, the system will fall back, okay, to the Microsoft Excel, right? And then we would like to ask us for the what? For the new worksheet, new worksheet. Okay, just simply create a new worksheet, okay? And then over here, can you see on the right hand side? You see on the right hand side, what I've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4 tables altogether, right? This did create difference, okay? In the old time, okay, if we apply this operation on a single table, what we can find is those fields inside a table, right? But what we can see here in the Python is they will divide it into different table, and different table will have a different field, right? For example, if I would like to know, okay, how many businesses, okay, a customer that give us, okay, every year, okay, for this during this period of time, and what should I do? Okay, very simple. We just here we've got the customer ID. We just put in the row here. This is the customer ID, and I would like to know, okay, how many business they give he give us. Very simple. We just go to the transaction, and then we go to the invoice price. And then go to the message, the summation value. Can you see here? Okay, sum of invoice price. After that, what happened? After that, what happened? On the right hand side, on the left hand side, can you see here? On the left hand side, we've got the bank. Okay. They give us this lump sum of money and do this lump sum of business to all of us. You see this? Okay? If you say, if I would like to change the analysis, okay, I don't want to compare, okay, to know the business that given by each customer. I would like to compare the performance of different store. Then what should I do? Remove the customer ID, and then again, I go to the store ID here. Or maybe I just go to the store name and drag and drop to the rows here, and I will know, okay, how many business that one store did, okay, in this record. Is it clear? Okay, in the old time, okay, if you would like to do this kind of analysis, you need to first of all to what? To link all these 4 tables together into one with VLOOKUP. And then after that, then you need to put it back to the pivot table and then do the analysis. But now what you need to do is to link the table together and then do the pivot table analysis once after the creation of the data model. See here, right? Basically, the rest of the operation is quite similar to that of the pivot table. So no need to mention in detail. But one more thing I would like to share with you, because I would like to share with you about what is many-to-many. Okay, actually, just fall back to the data model here, let you know. Okay, can you see here? Can you see the relationship between the store and the customer? Basically, one store will have what? Many customers. And one customer can go to different store to buy their electric appliance, right? That means the relationship is what? It's many customer and buy stuff from many store. And many store will serve many customers, right? if this kind of relationship, what is the name of the relationship? It's many to many, right? And can you see from the data model here, how to manage the many-to-many relationship? It's very simple. We just put a transaction table in between. And the transaction model, transaction record to the customer, the relationship is one to many. And here, for the store to the transaction record, it's one to many. And with the connection of this table, then we can link up a relationship, which is what? Many to many. So if you like to manage some relationship between many to many, you need to what? Making use a table in between. Okay, to be in between to manage the many to many relationship. Because of what we can do inside the existing system, we can manage only by default, we can manage only one to many and one to one relationship. Okay, is it clear? Okay, before you left, okay, please sign your name in the web. Okay, it's done. Or else you can't receive my video, okay, the recording, okay, after the session. Okay, so up to this moment, any questions? No questions. Yeah?
So in this data model, the item transaction sounds like it should be a many to many.
Many to many. For
Item transaction, between item and transaction, because one transaction can have many items, right, usually.
yes, correct.
So
No. One to no.
many to many.
The here is like that because this is actually the master record.
Because the data table is already there, can we still edit the
No.
model?
The transaction is not happening over here. Okay, for example, okay, what does it mean? That means okay, here I will have a single item. For example, just like our customer. Okay, because of a single customer, we have a many transaction with the and phone. So the relationship between the case record and also the customer record is the one to many. Is it clear? Okay, for here it's just a similar. Okay, what does it mean? That means okay for the item. Okay, for the single item, for example, this shirt, okay, can be sold to different customer, right? Can be sold show to different customer. That means that we will have a different transaction for this single item, this single item number, right? So that's why for the item itself in the record, we only have one record inside this table. This is this shirt. Maybe this item number is item 001. And this item 001 will have so many transactions, maybe to the to US, to China, to Korea, something like that. We have different transactions. In the transaction table, we will have a different transaction here, more than one transaction. So that's why in transaction and the item table, the relationship will become one to many. That means one item number will match to many transaction ID.
No, I was talking about the reverse because when the transaction, usually a transaction can have many items. Just if you think about logically, it's okay.
No, because it's like that. It depends on the design of the table.
Yeah, so
for example,
the question is, if it's already designed, can we still change the table structure?
it depends not the table structure itself, but that is the operation of the program itself. For example, in our we need to have maybe you're right, the data structure. If okay, for example, in E&4, we will have another structure because in case we will have a case number over here, and then under the case we will have the same item number. We will have a different transaction, right? And this is another story because the database model of STS is much more complicated. On top, okay, they will have something called case. Okay, for here, basically, if you just okay, just similar to that of the STS system. Okay, for those transactions over here, it's only a transaction item inside the case. Okay, what on top for those transactions here is a case table should be on top to handle many this kind of transaction. Because this is only a simple table for have a simple transaction. For each transaction is only for one invoice and one item for one customer in one store. This is what the structure of this table this database. Okay, of course, if you would like to handle just as complicated as like that in the XTS, then the database structure will be much more complicated. Okay, just like here, if you would like to have a complicated data structure, will maybe like this. Okay, for here maybe the case, and here maybe the single transaction for each item, and here what we got here is to be the item and customer and supplier. Okay, the structure will be much more complicated, just like a fractal. Okay, so that's why this kind of structure called the snowflake. Okay, at the very beginning, the simplest structure is the star schema. And what we got here, this is the star schema. If you would like to make it more complicated, okay, with some fractal structure, and then it will become a slow fractal schema. Okay, that means that we'll have so many different branch, okay, and then extend, okay, to link up more different kind of information with other table. Okay?
Yeah, I just wonder because this is so complicated. So how do
Yes.
I won't make a mistake if I don't know the structure? If I just have many.
And
things I
so
want
that's
to
why,
do it.
that's why at the very beginning, if you would like to design a database, we need to first of all to have our ER diagram. Yeah, you need to get help from the ITS. You need to get help from the ITS. Yeah, because some traditional training for IT guys, we need to first of all to draw something called the ER diagram to design the whole structure, and then what next is based on the ER diagram, and then design this kind of structure. In the old time, we need to type in the code, okay, with the C codes as instruction. But now, what we need to do here is just draw and write and drag and drop, something like that. It's much more simpler now already. Okay? So, any other questions? If no more questions, just sign it on the attendance sheet, and then you will left here. If you still have any questions, just left behind and ask me. Okay, thank you for coming. Yeah, practice make perfect.
This one is really good for us. It's already using. It's really good.
Which one? Power Pivot?
Yeah.
It's really good. And for consolidating information, I think the Power Query is very useful as well. Power Query. Power BI is another story. Power BI basically is quite similar to that of the Tableau. Because we have already bought the license for Tableau, I find if compared with Power BI and Tableau, I find that Tableau is much more powerful. To be honest.
Power BI is already installed in the.
Yes, got it. But this is very simple. It's quite simple. If
But Tableau, like they extract the ACS data.
Only.
Sometimes they are not in a way that we want.
yeah, I know. So that's why if you would like to make use of the Tableau, then you need to buy the desktop license instead. Okay, by your division. Because Tableau is very common in US, okay, especially in data science field. Okay, because I have a friend, okay, who studied in the US university. All of them they use the Tableau to do big data analysis. Yeah, this is very common and very powerful. I also love Tableau, but I need to pay money for it. It's not worth to do so. So that's why I just use it and learn it with my student license. Yeah, but of course we can't use the student license to use those companies' tasks, okay? Because it is illegal.
No, actually, it's they already preset how they
Yes.
extract the data from STS, and
So-
somehow in a way it's not what we want.
I know. So that's why you need to buy the desktop license by your division.
The desktop license can change like how they extract the data.
Yes, of course. But not from you need to give any data source, okay, to the desktop version because of the preset version, okay, that the company provides. It has already connected to the STS. This is the desktop. Yes, that is the one I hate most. Be honest. Not flexible,
Tableau is really good, but we still need to use the Excel.
Yes, correct. Because most of the time you need to make use of Excel to massage data, to recalculate all the stuff, and then to formulate a new data set in order to put in the computer to visualize it. This is our process. However, Tableau is just limited to those STS data which is directly retrieved from the database. This is not good. Now, I also find this limitations. So that's why I'm not so feeling comfortable with the second
It's good to have the overall view, but if you look at drill down, somehow I find it very difficult.
Yeah, but it's a good choice. Okay, if you are a digital ambassador, you may go to the link key, then you will know, wow, the full power of the Tableau, then you will feel very amazing. However, the limited function, then of course you cannot feel and experience how great that Google is.
I think it's great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming.
You're very helpful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's better together. But I think you better ask like let's apply for a better because if you got more data, you need to have a powerful machine, at least an i7 machine. It's better. It's better because if you got hand easily, if you need to handle so many data, you know. Yeah. Yeah, this is still bad, you know. So that's why I just encourage people to use these kind of tools. And that's why, although it is already December, not so many people stay in the office, I still open classes in education, power period, power period. Yeah. This is most of the by since time.係啊，其實佢自己係啊，砌啲 graphic 出嚟啊，係啊，高價即係其實個 working 咧，其實我理想係咩？下次開再講。好，你係咪當時有結果？咁啊，你知道你想睇咩咧？你知道。好啊，好啊 ，thank you。好，再分享下，我再試下做呢啲例子。Thank you。
星期一嗰堂係咪都一樣嘅，定係
雙堂個一樣個？你咪上星期一個堂，下個禮拜啊？
有冇得再上